Let's bring in Independent MP Allegra Spender, the member for Wentworth, joining us live from Sydney. Good to talk to you, Allegra. What a terrible day. You, of course, are the local member for Bondi Junction. You know I'm a constituent. I know the area well. Tell us about the day of commemoration today and your thoughts about that, and also whether you believe it's too early to be learning any lessons.
Look, thank you, Chris. And, I know you are a constituent, and so how you described your experience at Bondi Junction is very similar to many of our constituents. You can be there any day of the week. We all, we're there as much, probably there as much as the beach, the two main places that we go in this area. So I think it's really shocking. And, today was a very sombre day of at the centre, where the centre opened for the public to come and, without any shops being open, just walk through the centre and commemorate, to look at the flowers, to sign condolence books, and again just go through this grieving process, which I think our community is going through. We're heartbroken for the families, I think, and many people, thousands of people were in the centre, and I think are still processing their own experiences of that, whether it's survivor guilt, whether they just didn't understand what was going on, what our kids saw. So I think it's still a really tough time, and we're having a vigil on Sunday. It's going to be a tough time, I think, for some time from now on. I think
for a long time to come for the community.
Did you ask me the question?
Yes, lessons.
Yeah. Look, lessons, I think, I agree with you that we need a forensic examination of what happened here. His experience to the point that Joel Carucci undertook this rampage, and could this have been prevented, with his interactions with mental health with the police? Could anything have been done to prevent that? Could the knife laws, are there ways of reforming those or security? And I think we need to look really carefully at this, because I think the danger is a knee-jerk reaction, but I think we really need to let the police do a very thorough and forensic investigation relating to this. But I would say what I hear from my community right now is about mental health and also about women. And those are the two big themes that are coming out right now, to say we will put plaques against the people to commemorate those people who have died and who survived. But we will have a mental health impact on our community from now on. But it is clear that mental health played a significant part in what happened on the Saturday, and we need to really be looking at that especially carefully.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Just briefly, though, I want to ask you about armed security guards. A lot of people bristle at that. Perhaps a way to deal with this, especially in major centres like Westfield centres and the like, where there is such a constant gathering of thousands of people. Should there be a permanent police presence in those centres?
Look, I'm really going to be reaching out to the police and other experts in this area, because I think, there are a lot of different models around the world, and we need to look really carefully at what keeps people safe. Is it, I think people do trust the police in our country, and I certainly do, and I think, police, I'm much more comforted with the police having arms than anybody else having arms. I think we've learned our lessons from Port Arthur. We do not want arms in this country. And I think, that's what many of us think after Saturday, is like, thank God he didn't have a gun. So I think we need to be very careful about sort of jumping to sort of trying to arm guards. And I think, we need to, have those discussions with the police, what is practical, but also, just, again, work with the community, but work with evidence overseas. They're different, and here, there are different rules state by state on some of these issues. Let's see what's actually working before we sort of jump ahead in terms of what we think might actually keep us safe.
Indeed. Allegra Spender, thanks so much for joining us. Allegra Spender there, who's the Independent MP for Wentworth, dealing with a community going through enormous trauma at the moment.